I want to talk to you guys about something that I feel everyone gets completely wrong, just hits it right out the ballpark sometimes, most times you strike out. It is risks and taking them. I feel like people take terrible risks day-to-day basis. Let me give you an example. There's two different types of risks. There are calculated risks that people take because either A, they have to, or B, they understand that if they don't get the reward, the risk that they take or the consequences of the risk aren't that bad. And then there's the risk that people take. It's like, oh my God, this risk is definitely worth it. Looking at the reward and not calculating the risk. Let me give you guys an example. I got fired from Nike. I got fired from Walmart. I got fired from McDonald's. Now, Nike is arguably one of the best places to work for. I don't really know. Last time I checked, I don't really look at mistakes. But I got fired from all three of those. Not let go, fired. And then I started to think, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe retail just isn't my thing. Maybe fast food isn't my thing. A couple years later, we take a risk and we're doing YuGiTubing and I love it. I have to tell you guys, I can't get fired from this job. Another example of somebody just looking at the reward and not taking account of the risk. A friend of mine bought a 2018 Dodge Challenger. I'm telling you, all the bells and whistles, literally, he even got it modded. Now, I'm not huge on cars, but I know he put some money into it. The car wound up getting repoed. Why? Because he risked that he would have a job by the time the first payment came around. These are the type of risks that I'm talking about that people tend to make. And ironically enough, Soul Fusion, the set that we're going to be talking about, is reminiscent of one of these risks. But is it worth the reward? Is it worth the risk to get to invest into the Soul Fusion set? We're going to find out in this video. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, then go and destroy that subscribe button. But more importantly, go ahead and hit that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. Now, as you guys can see, my rehab's going pretty well. Fracture's not feeling that bad. I also want to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Without you guys, videos like this would not be possible. Also want to give a mad shout out to our newest Patreon, Justin Miracle. It really is a miracle to have you. And I welcome your stay into the top dogs. Without further ado, I present to you a new series. Should you buy Soul Fusions? Is Soul Fusions a good set? All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know how we work with these new series. I dictate if we should continue to do new series like this, depending on how you guys like and respond. This isn't my YouTube channel. This just so happens to be your YouTube channel. I just happen to do all of the work. So let us know down below in the like section with the likes. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, then post them down below in the comment section. Now, Soul Fusions is a very interesting set. I think that Soul Fusions probably introduced more support and more new archetypes than any other set we've had in a very long time. Looking at all of the supported archetypes and Soul Fusions for the TCG, Furhire, Galaxy, Gravekeeper, Incantation, Crawler, Crusadia, Sky Striker, Trap Tricks, World Legacy, Noble Knight, Furhire again, I actually put that twice, Melodic, Fluffle, DDD, Predaplant, and Fairies. Now, taking away the obvious mistake of listing Furhire twice, we have a really good set that supports quite a few archetypes. It also introduces some new archetypes out there, such as Dino Wrestler, Orcust, Salamangreat, and Thunder Dragon. So I think that Soul Fusions is definitely a risky set in the essence that if you are depending on some of these archetypes to become tier 1, then yes, anytime you come around with an archetype that's supposedly supposed to be tier 1, no matter how much success it has in the OCG, it's always a risk there because there are plenty of archetypes that have came into Yu-Gi-Oh! Cough Cough Lavals, Cough Cough Magispectors that did pretty well in OCG and just fell flat on their face inside of the TCG. So without all that out of the way, I think that this Soul Fusion set definitely has a lot of cards. Let's talk about the cards with the most potential. Now, there are 3 archetypes I feel are really competitive. 3 archetypes that just scream, I am tier 1. Now, the way that Soul Fusions is actually given to us, there can actually be more archetypes that scream, I am tier 1, but I'm just gonna pick the top 3. We have so many archetypes in this set that it's just phenomenal. I do like that part. And every single one of them seem to play a little role into the format, or could play a role into the format of being a very good deck. But I'm gonna focus on the 3 due to time constraint. The best deck on paper right now, the deck that just screams, I am competitive, I am tier 1, is Thunder Dragons. Hands down. Thunder Dragons are in their infancy. And you know what they remind me of? They remind me of Spiral. They remind me of Zoo. Ironically, if I can recall correctly, both of those came out this time of year at this time of the set. Just a completely dominant deck. Thunder Dragons have the ability to shut your opponent off from searching. Not shut off searching, shut your opponent off for searching. There's not too many cards out there that can do that. Thunder Dragons also have the ability to activate cards in their hand, activate cards when they're banished, and have some good graveyard-like effects. They're a contender. I really do believe that this deck is a very powerful deck, possibly the next Zodiac, the next Spiral, so get your shit together, guys, because their two best cards are really hard to get, but more on that later. The next deck that I feel is really good, just phenomenally good, is Noble Knight. Now, Noble Knight is no stranger to being an overhyped deck. As a really good friend of mine, Andrew Sasha Aquatree, or also known as Olaf, he comes on my channel, posts a lot of Blue Eyes deck profiles. He says Noble Knights are very fair. That's a blow to the gut, straight up to Noble Knight players. But if you look at it, just about every single Noble Knight card in the deck is fair. That's right. Too even, too balanced. It's like Konami has a penchant for making good balanced decks at the wrong time in Yu-Gi-Oh, where balance isn't what we're really looking for. We need that one busted card. Fortunately, it looks like in Soul Fusions, Noble Knights get a plethora of cards that are just really good. And what helps Noble Knights? Well, they're a warrior deck inside of a format where warrior decks just seem to thrive. You know, decks like Goki being all warrior, having the benefit of E-Soul, Summon Sorceress, Destiny, or Malicious. Even Heroes having the ability of E-Soul, Summon Sorceress, Destiny, or Malicious is really powerful. So I can see Noble Knights being a very good contender inside of this format, especially with, you know, Summon Sorceress and E-Soul getting reprinted. It's just kind of like, you know. Another thing is that I feel that Noble Knights can actually take more advantage over E-Soul better than any other deck, so that just might be a thing. The last deck that I'm just looking at, I'm like, God, you're just good. I just don't know what to say about this deck. The OCG name is Orph Angel. The TCG name is Orcust. Orcust look good. I mean, like, whoa. Just looking at their secret rare spell card, draw 2 cards, is amazing. Now, this card actually separates itself from cards like Allure Darkness and Trade-In, because Allure Darkness and Trade-In are trash. Now, if you guys really want to hear why I feel Allure Darkness and Trade-In are trash, post down below in the comment section, because that's some choice words. You guys heard it from me. I'm gonna say it again just to make sure you hear it. Allure Darkness and Trade-In are trash. Cards like Allure Darkness and Trade-In are trash. I have a really good explanation in certain situations where they can actually thrive, but we'll just keep it that way. Orcust basically manages cards from the graveyard, spell summoning from the hand, deck, doing whatever it has to do to put monsters on the side of the field. It looks very interesting, and I do think it could be a contingent deck, if not in this set, in a couple of sets to come when they get more support. That's pretty much it for the decks with the most potential. I think that this set definitely has some really good card types, but just like any other deck with good potential, there's some sleeper cards in the set that I really think you guys should be aware of. Okay, I'm gonna kind of blaze through these sleeper decks, mainly because it's really because of new support. We don't necessarily know if they're really sleepers, but Gravekeepers are man. New support, new fusion monster, new search card, new Necro Valley cards. Oh my God. They have a reinforcement of the army now? Huh. Gravekeepers look really good. It's an anti-meta deck, and it just got more support. Gravekeepers just might be one of those sleeper decks, and everything is really cheap. Besides your Super Spies, Ulti Commandants, let's say you don't go that route. It's a pretty cheap deck. Galaxy Eyes. I'm watching that card. I'm watching that archetype, I'm sorry. They had a really powerful card inside of the Legendary Dragon Duelist, or the Legendary Duelist set. Now they're getting more support. Watch out for Galaxy Eyes. Ritual-based decks. Incantation monsters just keep coming out. Now you get recursion from the graveyard. Incantations are good. Ritual-based decks are going to be a lot better. DDD and Fluffle, 2 fusion-based decks that might seem a little too late. I'm telling you guys, it might be a little too late for both of these decks to shine, but in all honesty, it might not ever be too late to OTK or completely shut down your opponent with these 2 decks. They're pretty good, and I do look forward to their support. Now that we are done talking about the most potential cards, the sleeper cards, let's talk about the money cards, because that's what everybody wants, right? You want the money. We want to pull the cards that is going to get us the money back. That is going to get us the money that's going to get us potential gains. I think that this set actually has quite a few cards, but unfortunately, if any of the archetypes that I mentioned you aren't interested in, don't buy this set. It's just that simple. I don't believe in buying sets just to sell sets when you can just use that money to buy the cards that you initially need. But I do believe if you have a lot of cards that you want in this set, or if you're trying to build Thunder Dragons, you're pretty much forced to buy a large quantity. The money cards are Thunder Dragon Colossus and Thunder Dragon Titan. Now, I feel that Thunder Dragon Colossus is probably going to be the most expensive card in the set because it has the makings of one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Preventing your opponent from searching, good. Ease of summon, good, because it's really good on ease of summon. And Thunder Dragon's Titan, I apologize if I got those mixed up. One of them prevents from searching, the other one destroys cards even in the damage step. So pretty good, and they protect themselves. Really good cards. Another card that I want to talk about is Orchestrated Prime or Angel Prime. Allure Darkness, but better. Why? Because Angel Prime actually works for the deck. It's a draw 2. It's a really good card. It's once per turn, but it's still a really powerful card, almost mandatory for the Angel archetype. Lastly is Danger Tsuchinoko. I hope I said that name right. Now, Tsuchinoko is really good. It looks really good. Mainly because it can spell summon itself no matter what. I think that that's really something that Danger needs. Now, I don't think that Danger is a tier 1 deck, but who knows? I could be wrong again. So good ultra rares are Heritage of the Chalice and Morgus the Enchantress of Avalon. Great. Thunder Dragon support, or I'm not Thunder Dragon support, my apologies. Noble Knight support. Really powerful cards though. One being a hand trap, the other one being everything that it seems like Noble Knights needed to be a competitive deck. After that, you have your Thunder Dragon trifecta. We're going to talk about Thunder Dragon Hawk and Thunder Dragon Roar. Let me actually pull those up so I can know exactly what they do. Thunder Dragon Hawk allows you to discard this card to spell summon one Thunder Dragon monster that is banished or in your graveyard. Pretty good. And then if it's banished, you can shuffle any number of cards from your hand into your deck and draw that same number of cards. So you got a Magical Mallet and a Monster Reborn in the card. The next card we're going to talk about is Thunder Dragon Roar. Discard this card to add one Thunder Dragon card that is banished or in your graveyard to your hand. Perfect. And if he's banished himself, you can spell summon Thunder Dragon monster from your deck, but return it to the hand during the end phase. Now, the bad thing about Thunder Dragon monsters is that you can only use one effect and only one effect that turn, and once per turn. But that's okay, because these effects are pretty powerful depending on how you use them. They remind me a little bit of Dragon Rulers, just reminiscent to Dragon Rulers just a little bit. Paired up with their light and dark monsters that like to be banished, BLS just might, I don't know, just BLS looks better and better inside of this set. The last card I want to talk about is Thunder Dragon Dark. Thunder Dragon Dark, just because it carries the Thunder Dragon name, seems to be a money card. And it says you can discard this card to add one Thunder Dragon Dark from your deck to your hand. Similar to what Thunder Dragon does, but you only can add one. If this card is banished into the graveyard, you can add one Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand. Oh my god. The reinforcement of the army to the deck by being banished. Yeah, it's good. It's actually really, really good. I think that those Thunder Dragon monsters are definitely some cards that you have to look out for. More money cards in this set. There isn't too much after to look at when you look at the super rares, if you ask me. Extra Foolish Burial. It just looks like a really good super rare. I don't really know what else to say to it. It just looks like a really good super rare. I don't know. There's not really much else to say to it. It's a Foolish Burial. It's been proven time after again. If the card has Foolish Burial in its name, it's probably really good. Summer Summoner. I'm gonna try to say that 10 times fast. Summon Summoner. Summon Summoner. Summon Summoner. Summon Summoner. Summon. Alright? This card probably will be really good just because Thunder Dragons and Thunder monsters are getting a load of support. That's pretty much it for all of the money cards, if you ask me. There might be some I missed. Go ahead and post them down below in the comment section. I really think that these cards are going to be definite on the list as money cards, though. Something you guys definitely need to look out for. Now that we are done with the money cards, let's start talking about those sleeper cards. Just the sleeper cards, not the sleeper decks. Cards I think that people might not be too good on. These secretly good cards. I think that there isn't a single bad secret rare in this set. If you open a box, you're gonna get a secret rare that might not be worth a lot, but it's not terrible. We're not gonna get any pinpoint landings in this set. We're not gonna get any celestial, whatever that trash card was. Everything is decent. That follows up with Chaos Chaos Dragon Levenair. Looking at this card, it makes me want to build Chaos Dragons for a deck. Seriously, put Chaos Dragons out there with this deck. It says, cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 light and or dark monsters from your graveyard. When this card is summoned, apply the appropriate effect based on the attributes of monsters banished for this summon. This card cannot attack this turn. You can only use Levenoso Primordial Chaos Dragon once per turn. Now, I do not like that cannot attack this turn effect, but it has some pretty good effects. If you banish all light monsters, special summon 1 monster from your graveyard in defense. If you banish all dark monsters, shuffle 1 random card from your opponent's hand into the deck. If you banish light and dark, you can destroy up to 2 cards on the field. I like it. Summon it, get its effects, link it off. 3,000 beater, but it doesn't mean anything because you can't attack. Now, for bonus points, I want you guys mentally to think in your head, what kind of summon is this? Is this a summon that activates? Or is this a regular, or is this a summon that does activate? What cards can you guys stop it with? Just some homework quiz for the people that watch the video, boop, on about inherent summons. Next card I want to talk about is Subsurface. Oh my God, this card is like, Subsurface, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the Nimble Manta Catches the Worm, but its TCG name is Subsurface Stage Divers. It says if you control 3 monsters with the same name, except tokens, add 3 monsters with the same name, if you control 3 monsters with the same name except tokens, add 3 monsters with the same name from your deck to your hand. But for the rest of the turn, you cannot normal summon, set, or special summon monsters with that name, nor activate monsters' effects. You can only activate 1 Nimble Manta Catches the Worm once per turn. This card just seems really gimmicky. I think that it's secretly good because it's gimmicky. There's going to be something that's going to take advantage of this card. I don't know. I just feel it, like a Harpy deck, something like that. A Cyber Dragons, anything is just going to take advantage of this card. Because it's a trap card, you can use it on your opponent's end phase and, completely ignore, you can't summon monsters or activate monsters for the rest of that turn. Because I don't know, I just really feel that this card will be good. Next is Clock Wyvern. Boy. If this card is normal summon or special summon, you can have this card's attack, and if you do special summon one Clock Token, you can only use the effect of Clock Wyvern once per turn. I apologize about that. My refrigerator is like making weird noises. But the reason why I think that this card is so good is because I was looking at this card called Cyber's Clock Dragon, which requires Clock Wyvern and 1 Link monster. Well, Clock Wyvern can make the Link monster for free. You summon the token and use it to make Link Spider. And it says when this card is fusion summoned, you can send cards from the top of your deck to your graveyard equal to the combined Link rating of this card's material. So you can actually make a bigger Link monster if you want to, but Clock Wyvern provides you the access to send 1 card from your deck to your graveyard upon summoning this card. Until the end of the next turn, other monsters you control cannot attack. Also, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card sent to the graveyard by this effect. If you control a Link monster, your opponent controls cannot target this card for attack except for this one. Also, your opponent cannot target monsters with attacks other than card effects, except this one. If this fusion summon card is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 spell card from your deck to your hand. Really good card. But back to Clock Wyvern, I just think it's just a really good looking card. Normal summon or special summon, give yourself a token. It's a free Link 2 monster. It's a wind monster. I guess that's a little bit of a drawback, but Bladefly isn't terrible. I mean, I just think it's good. Another card I want to talk about is Goki Pole. Goki Pole might be the reason why Maxine will stay banned. Goki Pole says, if this card is sent to the graveyard, rewind. If this card is sent to the graveyard, so if it's Foolish Burial, if it's milled up by a Lightsworn, if it's sent from the hand to the graveyard, if it's detached as an XC material, if it's used for a Link or Synchro Summon, and it has the if part of its effect, so it won't miss timing. You can add 1 level 4 insect monster from your deck to your hand. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I got a little bit too far. Maxie isn't a level 4 monster, but it is a free search. If you added a normal monster by this effect, you can special summon it. Then you can destroy 1 monster on the field whose attack is higher than or equal to the attack of the special summon monster. You can only use the effect of Goki Pole once per turn. That's a pretty good card. Maybe insects aren't good right now, but this is a pretty good card, at least in my humble opinion. So it's a level 3, so you know how good those rank 3 monsters are. You know how good summoning this monster is to your side of the field. I just think it's going to be a pretty powerful card later in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Trap Trick. Banish 1 normal trap card from your deck except for Trap Trick, and if you do set 1 card with the same name, add that card from your deck. It can be activated this turn. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you can only activate 1 trap card. You can only activate 1 Trap Trick per turn. This card's good. I think it's good. It's a secret rare, Probably would be better off as a super rare. But then when you look at the rest of the set, I wouldn't really want anything else to be secret rare. So I think that this is pretty much fine where it is, if you guys are trying to catch my drift. Pretty good card. There's going to be some good normal trap cards in the game. I haven't thought of any applicant uses for it, which is probably why I put it as a secret card, because I know in the back of my head that there's going to be some use for it later on in Yu-Gi-Oh! Parallel Panzer, equipped only to a link monster. Once per turn during your main phase, you can move the equipped monster to a controller's main monster zone it points to. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can destroy one card in the field in the same column where the monster was equipped to. You can only activate this card once per turn. Now, the movement is nice, but the ability for it to be sent from the field to the graveyard and destroy a card in the column when it's sent to the graveyard, cough, cough, when it's linked away, I like it. It's a good card. Condemned Witch is another secret rare in the set, and falls on the same lines of Trap Trick. It's one of those cards that you're like, you're not really secret rare worthy, but then when you look at the rest of the set, you're like, you're kind of secret rare worthy, and I don't mind pulling you. When this card is normal summon, add one forbidden quick play spell card from your deck to your hand. Forbidden Chalice, anyone? During your opponent's main phase, you contribute this card to spell summon level 4 fairy monster from your deck. That's pretty good in counter fairy. Use this, you get another way to summon Bountiful or Artemis to get your trap cards off. Now, Forbidden Chalice is not that bad, if you ask me, nor are the other forbidden cards. Forbidden Lance, Forbidden Lance, and Forbidden Chalice are not that bad cards. I think that this card actually will have a place in the meta. It's a dark monster. You could probably play Chaos counter trap fairy deck. I think it'll be a pretty decent card. The last card I want to talk to you guys about is Galaxy Soulflayer Dragon. Now, looking at this card, it's just something about it that brings me to it. 2 light monsters, including a monster with 2,000 or more attack. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. It's that spell card that everybody was hyped over. It's a that target. If this card is link summon, you can target one Galaxy or full-time monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. It could only been better if it's at guard, because you could have got that card back to your hand for free. During your opponent's main phase, you can discard 2 Galaxy and or Photon cards, or 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, then target one special summon monster your opponent controls. Destroy it. You can only use the effect of Galaxy Eyes Soulflayer Dragon once per turn. Very powerful card. I think that Soul Fusion is definitely under the first pretense. You can make a calculated risk and buy a case of this set and get some really good cards and get basically everything. Then be prepared for next format. It has a deck that's kind of like Zodiac. It has support to other archetypes that'll probably keep you busy for days just playing around with other archetypes. Me personally, I'm looking forward to getting this set, possibly even a case, because of how well the set looks. It doesn't look like a lot of these archetypes will break contention to the meta, but again, this is just drooling with videos on top of videos. Let me know down below in the comment section, what videos would you guys like to see? What deck profiles of this set would you like to see? What live duels would you guys like to see? And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys having a great day, like I am. Now, if you've excused me, I'm gonna go play some GOAT format with TJ, and so you guys can definitely talk about his mistakes.